Welcome to another edition of In the Spotlight with the Minnesota Magicians. I'm Jimmy Lillidahl, Director of Media Relations and Broadcasting for the Minnesota Magicians. The expansion continues. The Minnesota Magicians in action this past weekend against the Aberdeen Wings. Unfortunately for the Magicians, just 1 of 4 points. On Friday night, the Magicians again playing the Aberdeen Wings. A tight contest, a 3-2 victory for Aberdeen. Another game that went to a shootout as the theme continues here at home. The Magicians get the first goal. It's Patrick Pollock right off the draw, finds Twine, Nick Kuchera, and Matt Colford picking up assists. Colford adds another to his resume, as well as the captain, Nick Kuchera. Aberdeen striking back on the power play, a big goal for Eric Baskin. Baskin able to create some space in front of the net, picking up assists. John Grabowski and veteran Kyle Hack. In the second period, not a lot going on, no scoring in that second frame. The final stanza, the final regulation period, I should say, Colin Hernan gets a goal. Colin Hernan again on the rush. Assisting is Travis Kepke. It's Kepke's third assist for the Magicians here in his rookie campaign. And coming back in the third period, a goal with just 1 second remaining. Jake Horton, the Wings able to win the draw with just 4 seconds left. Jake Horton able to squeeze it inside the post, and that sent the game to overtime. In the overtime, there was no conclusion. That game eventually went to a shootout, and Aberdeen able to get the best, scoring 2 and ending the shootout in the fourth frame. On Saturday night, the Aberdeen Wings pick up a 3-0 victory. Power plays for the Magicians 0 for 4. Aberdeen able to go 1 for 4 on the power play. That's how they started the scoring for the second night in a row. Colin O'Neill gets a goal on the power play. Rue and Sigurdsson pick up assists. The Wings able to add 2 more in the second period. The first one was from Leonard Palouche and assisting the St. Cloud native Austin Swingle. Aberdeen then gets a goal from Kyle Hack. Hack able to pick up the puck off a turnover. TJ Rue and Eric Gollenbeck also adding assists on that one. And then it was the fans got it going. There was a fight in front of the net. Chris McKenzie dropping the gloves, trying to get the club some momentum. That was right before that third goal. Unfortunately, the Wings able to end that little momentum streak with the goal off a turnover. So it was a 3-0 win for Aberdeen on Saturday night. Kind of frustrating for the boys, but it was what it was. 1 of 4 possible points on the weekend against the Aberdeen Wings. Welcome back to In the Spotlight with the Minnesota Magicians. I'm Jimmy Lillidahl, Director of Media Relations and Broadcasting. I'm alongside veteran Cody Milligan. Cody, just checking in with you here as the expansion continues. Just 1 of 4 possible points this past weekend against the Aberdeen Wings, a team you've played against plenty of times in your career, being a part of that Minot club the last couple of seasons. Talk about this weekend.
It was definitely a rough go. I mean, you definitely know the opponent a little bit more when you play against them quite a bit, but it was just unfortunate. We lucky to sneak out with 1, but we'd hoped for more.
This weekend it's going to be the Minot Minotauros, first ever matchup between these two clubs. You're no stranger to how things are run over there. You were part of their club last year, and a big part of that club. You had a lot of playoff time, or a lot of time on the ice during the playoffs and throughout the season. You played in a ton of games. Talk about playing against your former team for the first time here this upcoming weekend.
It'll definitely be nice. I definitely have a few friends over there, but I won't take it lightly by any means. I still got something to prove to them, and it'll be nice kind of playing against everybody you knew at one time. So it should be a great time. I mean, I'm not really that worried about it, but if anything, it'll give me a little bit more to play against them, just to prove them wrong.
Talk about coming from a non-traditional hockey market. I know there's plenty of guys that are from Las Vegas that are playing in this league, but it's not necessarily Minnesota. It's not as popular, obviously. And then when you come here, you probably tell people you're from Vegas, and they probably give you the double take. But talk about that, being from the West Coast, not necessarily known for hockey.
Oh, it's definitely not by any means a hockey hotbed, but I mean, growing up, you get to pick up little things from your parents or whoever's around, and fortunately, I was able to take off with it and run with it. But I mean, when people hear you're from Vegas playing hockey, they're like, "There's an ice rink in Vegas?" It's like, yes, we know how to build ice in Vegas, but I mean, if anything, it made you a better hockey player because you had to deal with that adversity growing up, and everybody, who's this, you know? So, if anything, it made me a better hockey player just knowing nobody really knew anything about you. So, it was a good time.
You came in to this league as a 16-year-old down in South. Corpus Christi, I believe, was the team that you played for. You had a lot of penalty minutes. You're a guy that's willing to do whatever it takes. It's kind of the reputation that you've garnered as you've gone up, through the rankings. But aside from the North American League, talk about playing at the AAA level in Quebec, because it's not the most popular thing to do for an American, and I'm sure it's something that you learned a lot from.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great experience in its own. I mean, it was a little rough playing somewhere where they don't really speak English at all. But, I mean, through all of it, it made me a better person and a better hockey player because, again, I had to deal with more adversity. But through the whole thing, it was just a big learning experience. And playing there was a lot of great hockey players there. And I learned quite a bit about myself just with a language barrier and trying to learn new things. But I think it was a good time. I mean, it is what it is.
As I mentioned, you came in the league as a 16-year-old. Your 93 birthday. This is your last run here at the junior level. Obviously, you've learned a lot throughout the 4 years that you've played, at a high level. Talk about being one of the go-to guys. You were brought to this club because you were a veteran. You had experience. It's no mystery what you brought to the ice sheet. You come here, you're part of an expansion, and you're a go-to guy. You're a guy that a lot of the rookies in this club turn to. What's it like having that responsibility?
I love it. I mean, when I came to this league, I looked up to guys that were 19, 20 years old, and fortunately they helped me out quite a bit. And, I mean, it made me grow up a lot faster, being away from home at 16 and not even being able to have a driver's license yet, So I feel I know exactly what they're going through, and I'm not one to get down on our rookies by any means because I was there too. I know how it feels to have a bad game and just think, oh, it's the end of the world. But, I mean, through that adversity, you gotta grow up a little bit, and I know the guys are coming along just fine. So it just takes a little bit more time. I mean, coming here and being a big guy and a key player, I love every second of it. I love playing on the ice and hitting people and doing what I do best. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better opportunity coming here.
Cody, thanks for taking the time here before your Monday practice. We appreciate it.
No problem.
That's Cody Milligan of the Minnesota Magicians. Welcome back to In the Spotlight with the Minnesota Magicians, and a big thanks to veteran Cody Milligan for stopping by and taking the time. Always great to hear from Cody Milligan. Some of the things coming up this weekend, it's the Minot Minotauros, the opponent this weekend. It should be a great contest. They're members of the Central Division, just like the Aberdeen Wings, the Brookings Blizzard, and some of the other teams that have come to Richfield Ice Arena during the month of November. Minot's got a goaltender that's drafted in the NHL and is committed to Harvard, so that should be an interesting game this weekend. And again, something I didn't mention earlier, the goaltending is really improved. Brian Neese has really stepped up for the Minnesota Magicians. So I have a feeling there are going to be some low-scoring games this weekend. And a big thanks for Champs supplying the alcohol. All the koozies were given out these past 2 weekends. So fans coming out to purchase alcohol, we just want to remind you that you can do that. Champs also supplies the food here at Richfield Ice Arena, and they've been doing a great job so far. Also a reminder, you can take your ticket stub to Champs after the game and get a free flatbread. So that's kind of interesting too. If you come to the game, keep that stub, head over to Champs and get a free flatbread. That's on the house over there at the Champs here in Richfield. We've had a great response from the youth teams. Last weekend we had 5 youth teams in here. It was pretty hectic. A lot of kids running amok, getting involved with Presto. The youth associations that come here get a tour of the facility and get to meet some of the players, some of the Minnesota Magicians players signing autographs during the intermissions this weekend. It was a great atmosphere, and you can come out and support the Magicians if you want your youth program to come do that, or any other groups. We have discounted tickets. 612-861-9356. Go ahead and give us a call at the Magician's office. Promos coming up. We have Pink Night coming up in February, and this is going to be epic. We've teamed up with Susan G. Komen. If you want to become a part of that or get involved in the donations, give us a call at 612-861-9356. We're painting the ice pink. The players are going to wear pink jerseys. We're going to auction those off to Susan G. Komen. And if you're a local business that wants to get involved in that, we encourage you to do so. Again, 612-861-9356. 6th. You can ask for Jimmy, Joe, Kevin, or Frankie in the office, and we'll get you set up. And that's gonna do it. Just a reminder, make sure you come out Friday and Saturday night as the Magicians take on the Minot Minotauros. And then next weekend, it's the Brookings Blizzard, and then the following, it's the Cooley Region Chill. So plenty of games coming up here at Richfield Ice Arena. That's going to do it for In the Spotlight. Stay classy, Richfield.